My name is Elisabeth Freytag-Rigler. I'm Director in the Ministry for Climate Action. I'm in charge of EU coordination for environment, climate and energy. And I'm also in charge of cooperating with member states and candidate countries, including Ukraine. I'm an economist from studies, and I spent most of my career in the ministry. It is a great pleasure for us to have Viktoriia with us, because she's a very nice person. She speaks German and she speaks English, and we try to speak German to her because we think it's useful. It's nice that we have somebody who is not an Austrian citizen. For us, it is interesting to have somebody else with different experiences, and then she comes from the energy sector, so it's also something we are dealing with. She is supporting us with different tasks that we give to her. So I sent her to a meeting on 30 years of Austrian membership in the EU, and then I asked her to make a report. So we several times sent her to meetings and asked her to do reports. And she's very clever, very fast, and she's writing very good. And so it's really a pleasure for us to have her here. And of course, we also discuss with her personal future, and we see if we can contribute something to her future. Absolutely so. As she and her family live in Austria, it would be good for her to have a paid position where she can use her experience. And if they want to stay in Austria, and her husband works in Austria as well, then I think it would be good to have a job where she can really use her experiences and her knowledge. And what we do is that, we have a huge network, of course, so we also try to connect her with people who could help her in the future. This unit is dealing with EU coordination, especially in environment and climate, but we also do energy. We do energy for the COREPER in Brussels. Her experience is managing energy projects. That is, of course, not something that we do here directly, but that has a lot to do with the things that we do as well. And I think it's always interesting to broaden the own experience and not to say, I always did energy, so I need to do energy. Climate and energy have a lot to do with each other. But of course, we asked her which people she would like to get to know and which experts she would like to talk to, and we connected her to experts also in the energy field, of course. Absolutely so. Of course, we would support it, and I think we pleasantly again have a person from Ukraine in our team, because for us it's interesting to have people with a different background living in a different country. As I told you before, we also meet other people who either live in Kiev or know the country. We also welcome delegations a lot from Kiev, and they always invite us to come, but it's difficult for civil servants, so politicians are allowed to go. Civil servants are not allowed to go as long as there is war, and maybe I also would prefer to go after the war, but we have a lot of contact, and you know that we support Ukraine a lot in this war, and we really want the war to end, of course, because so many people have died, but we want the war to end in a way that is acceptable for your country. And we also support that Ukraine is close to the EU, and that you work together, for example, with the European Environment Agency, where I'm also representing Austria in the management board. And I think we always think, where could we support this country? Apart from this very project and apart from the interns, we really try to support your country in the fields where we have a possibility to.